Good afternoon. Good afternoon. You are listening to Whissel Weekends on AM 1170. The Answer. My name is Kyle Whissel, your host with Whissel Realty, and I am typically joined by Mr. Jason Hall with Team Home Loans. Apparently, there's another Los Angeles Chargers pep rally happening today. And if you guys aren't aware, Jason is the president of the Los Angeles Chargers fan club. So if you're a Los Angeles Chargers fan, you and Jason need to know each other because you guys are both huge Los Angeles Chargers fans.
He's probably heartbroken because, we we let Gates retire. We didn't renew his contract for 1 year, and then their big tight end, Hunter Henry, tore his ACL. He's out for the season.
Yeah, so producer Todd is going to fill in a little bit today and step up with some knowledge. So maybe Jason's in mourning today.
Think so.
I mean, when your favorite team loses their tight ends, I mean, that can be pretty devastating for a big L.A. Chargers fan like him.
Especially and Gates really does like to throw to the tight end. So
that's what happens, right? Like, you've had a good thing. You're like, all right, it's finally time to turn the page. You do, and boom.
Maybe Jason's at Gates' house begging him to come back.
That is very possible. I could see Jason on his hands and knees. Please come back to my
season,
Los Angeles Chargers. Jason, we love you, man. If you're listening to the show, tell Antonio we said what's up. Also in studio today, we got James Cassady with State Farm Insurance. Welcome back.
Hey, Kyle. How you doing?
You've actually hosted the show once, right?
I have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got this.
Yeah, you were busy.
Good
you
today.
were on vacation or something.
Something like that. I'll get around.
I was scared. Jason was there with me, though, so I was all right. Yeah.
I love it. Good stuff, man. So the big news that I've been following lately is what they're going to do with Qualcomm Stadium.
The soccer stuff, right? Like, I haven't been
there's a lot
of
debate. First is, what are they doing with the existing stadium? Because SDCCU bought sponsorship rights to the end of the year, and it cost a ton of money to maintain that stadium. Apparently, it costs like $12 million a year. It costs like $1 million a month to maintain that thing somehow. I don't know. I don't know what you're doing that costs $1 million, but for whatever reason, it costs $1 million a month to maintain it. So there's belief that they're going to demolish the stadium at the end of this year because it doesn't make sense to let it sit there and only get used a few days a year for $12 million a year worth of expenses. So that's the belief of what's going to happen. And then they got to figure out what the hell they're going to do with it once they demolish the existing stadium. And there are two primary proposals out there that are vying for the right to build on this, and one is San Diego State wants to expand and do SDSU West and build a bigger campus there and build a new stadium for their football team to play in and all of that fun stuff. And then you've got the guys from Soccer City who want to bring an MLS team into San Diego. MLS is Major League Soccer, if you're not familiar with it. They want to bring a Major League Soccer team in to that stadium and do development all around it, including housing, office space, retail, what you would typically see. Yeah, nice little park, and actually clean up that river, because a lot of people don't know there's actually a river that runs right through the middle of San Diego. Homeless people are well aware of this river, but the average person's not so aware of this river that we have running through San Diego. So those are kind of the two proposals that are out there. They're trying to get both on the ballot for this year. There's, a lot of opposition now. There was talk the other day about taking them off the ballot completely to do more assessment. I don't know. What do you want to see happen there, James?
I don't know. Don't go out there that often. I'm not spending money out in that area. I like renovation. I like keeping it kind of fresh and new. So I think the Soccer City idea is kind of great. You're the real estate professional. What would you do with the money, and how would you develop it?
I think either way, it's a win-win for the city of San Diego, because right now we've just got this giant concrete, hideous, dirty, dingy stadium that all it gets used for is a parking lot to do used car tent sales all the time. So I'm excited to see something happen with it. I am a diehard sports fan. I've never been the biggest soccer fan, I'll be honest with you. I've always struggled to call something a sport that can end in a 0-0 tie. I've struggled.
Wait, nil.
Nil. Yeah. A 0-0 draw.
Yeah.
And then to see teams celebrate a 0-0 draw, which I saw that recently on ESPN. I struggle a little bit to call that a sport. But you know what? am such a sports fan in general that if we got a team in San Diego,
You'd go. You
I would
participate.
go. I
You
would.
spend money.
Yeah, because it's not just about the team; it's the whole experience.
Right.
Like I miss the ability to go down to the stadium and
And
tailgate
spend
beforehand.
$12 a beer.
Oh man, we were at Dodger Stadium. It was like $17.75 for an import beer. It was crazy.
How much for the Dodger dog?
I don't know. We went for a Spartan race, but they had the concession stand
Yeah.
open. I think it was like $10 or something for a hot dog. Their prices are higher than San Diego. But that experience of going out, tailgating, getting to go to the game, cheer, and those highs and lows that come with it, that's just fun. And having a daughter now, I want her to be able to have some of those same experiences growing up. And so, we've got the Padres, but honestly, I'd rather watch soccer than baseball.
Well, when you build it, do you build it for the potential future possibility of bringing another NFL team back into San Diego?
There's talk that they want to build a stadium that will. So Soccer City wants to build a primary soccer stadium, but one that SDSU could also use, so it could be a multi-purpose stadium. And they claim they want to build it to where it could be expanded to accommodate an NFL team should one want to play here. So I think that's cool. I mean, I'm all for that because if we could get an NFL team back, that would be fantastic.
Okay, so Soccer City does that, and they build that, and that's great because there's still the potential, so it doesn't rule it out that the NFL comes back. If it's San Diego State, does that limit the possibility of that build-out extension NFL?
The way I understand it, it does. I don't think they have any intention of building SDSU West to accommodate a potential NFL team.
It would only be a
Apparently-
35,000 seat stadium.
Wasn't that what the
SDSU
Chargers
West.
play in now?
Yeah,
It's less.
pretty much,
right? But there is another soccer organization that's launching. I believe it's AAF. I'm not 100% sure. But there's another competitor to the MLS, which is currently the predominant soccer league in the United States. There's another group launching, and they've talked about SDSU West getting a team for the AAF, I believe it is, coming to San Diego.
And partnering with SDSU.
SU, so that you could have a professional soccer team and a stadium for the Aztecs to play in.
Well, and there's been talk years ago, but they were talking about NFL downtown, right? Adjacent to Convention Center, linking it up, bridging it all the way together. There was some like MTS transit issues that they were having because they were parking these things on there. So
Right.
I don't know, but there's potential. So you did San Diego State. You got San Diego State. You got the AAL, and then maybe NFL downtown.
I would
you
love to.
participate NFL downtown versus Mission Valley?
I just want a team, man.
Yeah.
I was never even a huge San Diego Chargers fan, but Jason recruited me to the Los Angeles Chargers bandwagon, so I'm with
you
him
live
on
in
that.
town. You support it a little bit.
But I just love sports, so I love going to the game, and it's just that experience, to go with your friends, to go with your family. Like I miss that. So if there were a team, I'd 100% support it. I don't care where you put it. You could put it up in Oceanside, down in Chula Vista.
Right.
Downtown, you could put it out in Jacumba, man. I don't care. Like, just give us a stadium, give us a team, because it's not just about the team that we have, but it's about, the 10 teams a year that are going to come into town and
Right.
play as well.
Right, when
And
Green Bay rolls into town.
Yeah, it's fun, and it brings so much money into the, the city with, the tourist dollars that come into town, like Comic-Con's is huge.
Right.
But to have 10 NFL games a year in your city between preseason and the regular season, that's huge.
Right, and then you get a Super Bowl every 7 or 8, right? Because it's new, and that's where the NFL wants to be. And I was in town. I was waiting tables back in the day when the Super Bowl was here, and that was, from a waiter perspective, like giant money.
Oh, yeah.
Giant money. So,
Yeah, I want to Airbnb all my properties just for a Super Bowl
dude,
week
I could
because
go
people
into
are paying
business
a
as being your
fortune.
Airbnb manager and just side gig.
Yeah.
Side hustle.
Speaking of Super Bowl, they just awarded, I think, the 2023 and 2024 Super Bowl. So they're already like 6 years out
Yeah.
planned. And they gave one to Arizona and one to New Orleans, which seems like they host Super Bowls all the time. But
Right.
that's what you get when you build a new stadium.
Party.
Yes, and they both are good cities.
Right. Good cities to party in.
But I think I'm going this year. I've had it on my dream board for a long time to go to a Super Bowl.
Oh, I've been.
Yeah?
It's good. I went when it was here.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was last minute. So how much time we got? We got enough time for a quick
Yeah.
story?
2 minutes.
2
Let's
minutes.
do
Okay, I'll
this.
make it quick. So I was working as the chef concierge at the W Hotel downtown back in the day. And so we're working the day. We've got Sony in town. We've got MTV at the hotel, both of them at the hotel. And so we're helping people get to and from, doing all their stuff, partying for like the entire week that they were here. I was making a ton of cash, hooking people up with nightclubs and reservations and all this other stuff. And then Carson Daly's lawyer came to me early that morning, the day of Super Bowl, and was like, Carson doesn't need the tickets because he's going to be down on the football field. Do you want his tickets? I said, well, how much, right? Day of? He goes, face value. I was like, all right. Pulled out my wad of cash that I made for the last week, and it was like, boom, there you go. And I'm a Raiders fan, and the Raiders were playing. They lost, but the Raiders were playing. So not only did I get to go, but I got to go see my team go play.
That's awesome.
That was pretty rad. But then I had to decide who I was going to take. So I had a couple really close friends, you know, Jay, Jared, a couple of these guys, and I was like, God, who do I take? I took my wife.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Smart
take
move.
mom or
So
dad.
smart move, like took my wife. But she came up to me like 3-4 years later and was like, you know, you haven't taken me to a football game ever. It's like, I did.
Yeah.
Like the biggest one ever for me, ever, right? So, yeah, there's my Super Bowl story. Yeah, there was a blast, too.
I'm jealous. Yeah, I'm hoping it's in Atlanta this year. I wanted to go last year, but it was Minnesota. And I was like, who the heck wants to go to Minnesota in February?
Yeah.
That does not sound appealing. So Atlanta, that new Mercedes-Benz Stadium looks pretty killer. So
Yes.
I'm hoping to go check it out this year. And I think Jason, especially if his Los Angeles Chargers are there, I think he'll be there as well. We're going to head to a break, guys. When we get back here on AM 1170, The Answer, we're going to dive into Disability Awareness Month and what you need to know when it comes to disability insurance here in San Diego. You're listening to Whissel Weekends, AM 1170, The Answer.